Hey guys, Afterburn here. Yeah, I'm back in my review slash build space here in the basement of my home. We are going to take a look at something that I have been dying to get to for the longest time. I've had this set in my possession since probably mid-May, but I've been trying to figure out the best way to go about reviewing them. And it was this afternoon, maybe yesterday evening, where I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll just do it, and we'll see what comes of it. So, let's get into it, shall we? Let's go. Okay, now, as I've mentioned, this is a set that I've been trying to do for a long time, but timing and trying to get them right and figuring out how I'm going to do this took over a lot of my brain power, shall we say. And I'll just get into it now. This is from a company called Lucky Cat. This is their MC02 Riki-Oh combiner. As you can tell, that is Mr. Devastator. Top of the box here is a shadow version of the Six Bros, side by side. On the bottom of the box, you get a start of a image there. Just see the Scrapper and Mixmaster feet. This side you get box set A, because it is box set A. Now, they have 3 sets, B and C. And the way you do this is, if you want to show them off properly, each of the 3 boxes has a third of the image. And there it is. Now, like I said, I've had this set since May, and I've been trying to figure out how to go through this, but I figured let's just start. So, I'm going to pop box set A right out for you and show you how these guys are packed, because these are packed really cool. I have to take it off camera in order to get this out, because it is very... it's tied in there really tightly. This is how they're packed. In an ABS tray, inside of little cubes, and they themselves are tied up into little cube forms. And in the back of the tray here are some clear scaffolding pieces and some corner pieces. You're supposed to be able to build some sort of scaffolding type deal. I'm not going to even bother. I'm just going to leave them in the box. The only other thing you get in the box is this. 3 different QR codes. One has a link to a YouTube page where the Weibo guys show you how to transform each and every one of these guys. Then you get a Billy page, which is basically the same thing, and then you have a contact us page. The hardest thing to do is transform these things without any knowledge. They are that tough. Luckily, fellow YouTuber MGO316 has done videos on these dudes. So I'm going to leave his transformation video linked in the description because I'm not going to be transforming these on camera. I'm going to show you, because they all come in these box forms. Just take them out. They're packaged just like that, all crunched up. That's Scrapper. Tell by the digger bits. And this one is Mixmaster. His drum is split in half here. And that is a piece of, that's a knee spike, I believe. But we'll get into that when we get into everything there. So this is their box form. They are crunched up into this boxy shape. That is, and they're packed with their weapons. That is the weapon for Scrapper. And Mixmaster gets 2. Each of the others get their own weapons. I'll bring in the extra bits that are available. Long Haul gets the chest shield, which is, I think, pegged like this in its base form, so it just tabs together like that, and it has these little tiny pegs here, which are really tough to get out sometimes. And because Long Haul also comes with the side pieces to the chest shield, and they rotate out like that, and peg on the center, just like this. And that's ready for combine mode, and I'll show you how that goes on later on. I have the others off to the side here. I'll show you everything else when I get back with these 2 boys and the rest of them in vehicle form. Bear with me. And after what feels like ages, I'm back. At least on my end. Here we have Scrapper and Mixmaster. MGO does have a mistake in his transformation of Mixmaster. I'll point that out in a second. Here is Bone Crusher, Mr. Hook, Mr. Long Haul, and because I have to get him in the front, Scavenger. And they look good. They're, from what I remember, they are based off of the War in Pocket design. Scavenger's bucket is super duper articulated. It's pretty much a dude lying down. Oops. Forgot to turn his head down. It's literally a dude lying down. But it's cool. And he comes with this arm piece. When you get it, it is done up in their box form. They have, it opens up to hide away. the hand can hide away. These missiles rotate in and out. You got to bring this side over first because there's a T-tab. And that's what locks everything together. Kind of a pain in the butt if you don't get it just right. Because I did this a long time ago, it's now going to be a jerk to me and not sit flush. There we go. So, elbows there. You got a decent amount of range on the elbows. Yeah. Get about 90 degrees on the elbow. You get a wrist swivel. You get pretty much fully articulated hands. Thumb is on a ball joint at the base there. It's got a joint there. And the fingers are mated pairs, so you get first two mated, second two mated. Which for a combiner this size is actually impressive. That's the arm that comes with Scavenger. We'll move him off to the side. Next we'll bring in Mr. Bone Crusher, who is a War Within styled bulldozer. He has his gun pegged in up top. Oh, and I forgot, Scavenger has a teeny tiny pistol right there. Bone Crusher also comes with an arm, the left arm, same articulation. The connection point is that mushroom peg at his butt. I will show how that goes on in the combination. Move that over. Long Haul is the heaviest of the group and the most uninspired one because he becomes the waste. He doesn't really have a lot to do in this mode. He's got 8 wheels. They all roll. He's got the robo crotch in there. Very cool. And like I said before, he comes with all the pieces for the chest shield. Mr. Hook here. Crane arm is on a slider. The hook itself is on a hinge. He comes with 2 guns. And obviously that's hiding under there. That's Mr. Hook. Comes obviously the chest, and he's got an interesting transformation for the chest. I like how it works, and I like how how the connection to Long Haul works. Makes it a little weird looking, but I like it. Scavenger has his gun pegged in right up top. This gun, the handle is on a loose hinge, so you have to be careful when you're plugging it in. Also, all these arm pieces for the digger are really fiddly, but I like the end. For some reason, the front two wheels don't sit far enough apart. I haven't figured out why. But I'm not keeping him in this mode. They're going to be in Devastator mode, obviously, on the shelf. Because that's what I bought this for. So I can finally have a Legends-sized Devastator. But that is Scavenger. He has his bucket. The bucket has a bunch of different hinges. And if you unpeg it all, you kind of ruin the transformation, but cool. And last but not least is Mr. Mixmaster. I have his 2 guns pegged in up front. They have little tabs on the sides, goes right there. Now, what Emgo did in his review that didn't transfer over is, I don't know how he got it to work, because it's not supposed to, extend the barrel. Just by that much, you make the clearance for the little wheel and the treads so it actually looks right. Got a little rotatey bit here. The barrel doesn't move, but it does open, as we saw. And he becomes another foot. So yeah, that's all 6 of them in their vehicle forms. I will now get them transformed into their robotic forms, and we'll see them. I'll see how they look then. Stay with me. And here we are, back in the swing of things. Each one has been formed into their robot forms. Each of them has good bits and bad bits. Get rid of the icing on the head first. Long Haul just has his entire back section off his back. Might be tough to focus. There we go, nice orange on the visor. Oh, and I missed a step. How dare I? How dare I? There he is. Yeah, his entire wheel section winds up on the back there. You know, he is very much always the loser when it comes to Devastators, just because he does so much for the combiner that he's kind of relegated to almost uselessness. So, I mean, he could hold the pieces from the chest shield, but I'm not going to make him do that. But that's Long Haul. Hook pulls kind of the Tarn thing with his treads doubling up on his shoulders. Very nice, like steel blue on the visor there. The guns are cool. Yeah, he's got his whole crane arm hanging out on his back, but that is what it is. Big old feet. That's Hook. First time looking at Scavenger in robot form. His robot form is kind of weird. His arms don't look great from different angles, but it is what it is. Like usual, his digger ends up on his back. Folds up nice and neatly, which is great. He's got a nice metallic red visor there. Holds his gun really well. Tiny little fists with barely any definition on them. He's got a little heft to him because he's going to be like this, kind of. He'll be upside down, standing as a leg. Scavenger, his entire bucket becomes his chest plate. I think that's cool. Rarely ever see that. He's got 2 little triple-mounted guns there on the side, so he can't really turn his head if he wanted to. But he's got a nice little orange visor, his little dinky pew-pew pistol in his hand. Kind of stuck when it comes to the mushroom peg because it winds up sitting on his butt. Because you can't really turn this. This bit you can't really put this is the only way the chest can actually work. you can't get it any closer than that. It's really, and it doesn't tab in, it just sits there. But it looks good either way. And that's not why I bought the set, as I've mentioned numerous times. This is Bone Crusher, wielding his double blam blaster, his blam blaster. The dozer blade folds in and forms his chest bit as it's folding down, like it rotates up like that, rolls away. Those wheels become his arms, which I love the design of. They just split in half. Half of it becomes a shoulder pad. The rest of it just becomes the hand. He's got nice tread feet. Everyone stands really well, which is nice. You can actually get to his head and turn it. Looks like he's got a nice silver visor there. And his mushroom peg can hide very well. And last is Mr. Heavy Guy, Mixmaster, with his dual pistols. Barrel collapsed inward, which is where it's supposed to be, because if it's not, this doesn't fold up correctly. Like if I pull it out to rotate it back down, when I go to collapse it, it stops there. So he's still not fully together. But he looks good in this mode. Treads become arms. That has been the staple for a lot of these dudes. He's super heavy, but for what he needs to do, I can't. It makes total sense here. He's got that waist rocker joint for the truck mode and for ankle mode, and he's also running red eyes there on his face. Double pistol. That's the 6 of them together. Now I will get them into their individual combined forms and we'll assemble the whole thing together. Be right back. Okay, and we basically have everyone set for combination. The only one that doesn't look very good is Scavenger. He doesn't really peg together, but it is what it is. I'll just show you how to put the arms on. So take Scavenger and take the right hand. You take the mushroom joint and you just squeezy, squeezy, squeezy. And rotate it that way. There's the arm put on. Same goes with Bone Crusher. Arm on, set and ready to go. Like that. I will show off how the gun comes together after we get them all set. Move that off to the side. And while we're combining, this will be one of the last pieces I put on because it is tough to get long haul and hook to merge together. It is tough, but not impossible. So you take Scrap Daddy and Mixatron, put them down. Now there's a T-tab slot on both of them. You just take long haul set in this configuration, like that, like this, and you're just going to align the T-tab the back of his foot. I put it on the wrong foot. I'm an idiot. There we go. Now this is going to be tough to film, but there's the waist. Now, what we do with the waist is, it's hard to tell, but because of all the weird colors. Those are long haul's fists. And when you do hook, at least, when you do hook, he's got those two posts that come out from what was his original robot chest. Now, I'm going to move the treads out of the way, and I'm going to have to do this off camera to try and get this in, because it is really tough aligning the fist holes with the two posts. But maybe I can do it while I've got you here. Maybe, just maybe, it'll work for me today. And of course it will. You just squish them on, like so. I'll bring these back forward to peg into what his thighs were, his thigh swivels. So that is him there. Actually, I'll do the chest now since it's on. That little post will go into that hexagonal port between the screws there. And the arms are very simple. Got that big old port there. The peg you flip down. That one's on. Oh, that's a tough one. Oh boy. And that, believe it or not, guys, is the completed Lucky Cat Devastator in all of his glory. Now, I will be weird, I will be different, and do something like this with the arm, just because. Get a good look at his head. Head looks amazing. Very nice. And for bonus, you have the visor, which I'm going to use. I love the visor. Nice orange. Nice bright shiny orange. Still has his hook over the side there. I'm going to drag this back a bit so you can see him in his glory. The dozer blade, I'm going to do like this because I'm following what it looks like on the image. And it looks like it's straight up like that, so we'll just leave it like that. I like it. It looks cool. I love how it comes together. It's a very cool little Devastator-y boy. Oh boy. He doesn't really want to stay together a lot, but he'll hold. He'll hold. Now, let's get down low here, because we will create the gun from all the pieces here. You're going to take this one. This one is one of Hook's guns. You're going to fold the barrel down, turn it over like this. This will end up being the handle for Devastator mode. Okay. You'll take his other gun right here. You want to make sure the handle for robot mode is flipped back like this. And you're going to take the robot port, the robot post for Hook's first gun, and that port there. They will mesh to form the butt stock of the rifle. You will take Scrapper's gun, and this post will go into that port there. This tab, the robot mode handle, will go into the bottom tab. It's very fiddly to get in, but it works. You're going to take Scavenger's tiny little pew-pew, and it's going to slot into that hole at the top of Scrapper's gun, like that. You're going to take Mixmaster's little guns, and they will tab in on either side of the handle right there. You can actually put them here as well. I think that'll look better. Put them on the side of the main part. Like that. And finally, you take Bone Crusher's gun. It comes in two pieces in the box, but you just tab them together. Make sure the handle is folded in. This side plugs on the end of Scrapper's gun to form the Devastator. And it looks exactly how it's supposed to on the box. Exactly how the box puts it out, I have done so. Although mine tends to bend slightly to the left. I think that might be a slight fault on... That could be a fault on Scrapper's gun. It could be a fault with with Hook's two guns all hooking together. Who knows? It does have a little flex. I'm not going to worry about it because it's mostly straight. Now, to put it in his hand is basically how it always is with these type of weapons. There's the slot in the center of the palm. You just tab it right in and fold his fingers around it. And there he's wielding the Devi Blaster. And he is looking mighty cool. I am so happy I picked this up. Again, MGO316 was the man who inspired me to pick this up. You can pick this up from Big Bad Toy Store. I did myself. It's a lot cheaper than where he got it from, which I believe was bombusbee.net. Bombusbee was like $50 more expensive than what I got it for. Each one rounded about to $75 before shipping. They are live. I got this pre-ordered from Big Bad Toy Store. I will link the search page in the description below. And that is all I have for this guy today. I'm so happy I finally got a chance to review him. Again, link to the transformation video will be also in the description. But I think that's all I have. I'm spent. But thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. He's going to take a place of residence up in my room. And he will be loved dearly. And actually, when I get upstairs, I will do a quick addendum to show him side by side with the Iron Factory Bruticus. So, stay frosty. Taking this on my iPhone just because it's late and I'm about to go to bed, but I told you guys I'd get you an addendum to this before it's uploaded. This is my Iron Factory Bruticus. I've had him for quite some time. I got him loose. There will not be a review on him because I've just had him for too long. He's cool. And if I'm right, which I am, the Lucky Cat Devastator actually is shorter to the top of the head. If I consider there, top of the head, give or take, yeah, he's considerably shorter. But he works. He's not going to be perfect. Neither of them are perfect by any means. But I am glad I finally have a Legends scale Devastator that actually looks good. But that's them, side by side. Have a good night.